Tried tremendous. Is it irrational for me to have a fear of snorkeling alone in the ocean? No. Things happen in the ocean. When I was a little kid in Okinawa, we'd go to the beach all the time. Go out snorkeling, go play in the water, whatever. And there's a certain point where, like, the shelf of the island disappears into inky blackness, and there's no more coral. It's just black. And I remember swimming out, like following fish around in the coral, and then drifting out past where the trench begins, and it's inky blackness, and then essentially having like a little 9-year-old panic attack out there floating in what is essentially the deep sea, because my brain just imagined like everything below me that I can't see that can look up and see me. And just imagining like the sheer biomass that was below me that I could not make head nor tails of. And my dad had to like come out and rescue me because I was just paralyzed with fear as little 9-year-old Houston staring down into the deep sea trench off of Okinawa. And once I was back, like I could see the coral and the fish again, I was totally fine. But yeah, deep sea swimming freaks me out a lot. It feels like floating in space. Like an inky blackness of space. And that's just... yeah. All right. Stock Talk once caught a sand shark when I was deep sea fishing with my uncle. Nice. The 2 times I've been around sharks. One time in Hilo, snorkeling a little too late, a little too getting close at dusk, and a bunch of white tips came in to the reef and were everywhere. And like the white tips, they're maybe 4 feet long. But like if you get close to them, they might take like a scoop out of you just because you're near them, and they just instinctually go, oh. But they didn't bite me. Once they came in the reef, I was like, peace. And then the other time, I was very, 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 very close to a tiger shark off South Point. I may have told this story before. But, my friends and I would go to South Point when I was in college and jump off the cliffs, have a great time. And we jump off the cliffs. It was like 4 o'clock, maybe get toweling off. Like, we're going to get in the car and go get dinner and then head home. And this huge school of dolphin, like I had never seen. This looked like 1,000 dolphin came just rushing by. And I was like, dude, I'm going to go swim with some dolphins. So I jumped off the cliff. Dolphins are everywhere. It was awesome. And snorkel mask on so I could like see the dolphins. And then the dolphins all swam away. I was like, oh. And then I looked and there was this like hotel do not disturb sign on the bottom. It's about 60 feet deep, which was just about as far as I could free dive before the air just got squeezed out of my lungs. And so I was like, I'm going to get that piece of garbage off the bottom. And so I dove down and I tried to get it and I couldn't quite get it. And I dove down again. I tried to get it. And like maybe the 3rd or 4th time I finally like got this thing. And I thought it was going to be like a plastic placard. It wasn't. It was cardboard. When I grabbed it, it just burst into like 8 billion little bits of fiber just floating around everywhere. And this fish came from everywhere. Like thousands of fish were swimming all around me, eating up all the little bits of fiber. And I popped up, I'm like, dude, guys, check this out. It's awesome. And no one was paying attention to me. I looked back down, there's fish everywhere. I'm like, no, really, check this out. And I looked back down, the fish were just gone. A couple of them like up against the cliffs, just kind of sitting there. I'm like, that was weird. Pop back up, and my friends are yelling at me. They're like, shark. I'm like, bullshit. There's no shark here. And I look, and the big fat Hawaiian guys were always like deep sea fishing there. And they weren't paying attention to the fishing. They were going like this. And that to me said shark. And I don't remember swimming to the ladder. I just remember all of a sudden I was at the ladder, climbing up the ladder, and I turned around and I didn't see the fin, but I saw this upwelling. And the upwelling was about as far from me as that placard had been in the water. Meaning, while I was like staring at these little fish, that thing could clearly see me and was like, my friend said the fin had come up, done its thing, and gone back down, heading straight towards me. So that was the closest I'd been to a tiger shark that I know of. That was close as I need to be to a tiger shark. They couldn't quite tell how big it was, but it was definitely probably bigger than me. So, open it up and you'll find like the arm of a 7-year-old and a license plate and whatever else in there. Right, Kat? Yeah. You're like a little tiger shark. That's what you are. Just a little tiger shark with an angry, floppy little tail. Okay.